Hi there, I'm John, aka Graffiti, and I'm a 3D environment artist in the games industry. This video series shows my approach to environment art creation with the ArtStation challenge brief Beyond Human. Each video is a live stream capture and doesn't contain any music. I suggest putting some on, increasing the speed of the videos and playing them in the background while doing some of your own work. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you want to see me create environment art live, please tune into my Twitch channel. You can also follow me on social media. Enjoy! Look at that block out. Feast your eyes on that before we just go to this. Ta-da! Yeah, so I added these bad boys in. Lovely. And one's here, and there's a seafood one here. And I also added in this one and this one. Yeah, and then I also updated the UVs on all of these, so they're looking a bit better. If we go to unlit, there are only tiling textures at the moment. So today I want to start filling out the ground with actual debris. Hello Angel, how you doing? Yeah, I think Toolbag 3 is a much better baker than Painter. Yes, I want to replace some of the debris. What's my list looking at? So this will show. I need to re-import some things, and then I'm going to use replicators to drive the the various piles. I did some cardboard boxes, which I'm pretty impressed about. So I just need to get all of this in. So I might do that first. And then what else is on my list? I need to do the neon signs. It'd be good if I could get the wires in as well. Basically, I've still got loads to do. How's your stuff coming along, Angel? Is it any good? Any good? Stupid question. Is it going in the right direction? Right, so let's re-import all of this jazz. Ask me next week. Great sign. Don't know, put it in there. That's how it's going or not going, yeah. I gathered as much from what you said. Right, navigation in here. Okay, so I think we need to just re-import basically everything. Yes. Now I think this is, I've matched the UVs back to what they should be, what we did the other night. So I think it was 35% of what they were originally, and what they originally were matched to the textile density cube. So just bringing all of them into line with the scale of the buildings. Okay, so that's them. And then I want to bring in, so I've got some boxes. Look at these bad boys. Just done in Modo. Look at that. Fantastic. Lovely shape. Anyway, enough of that. Let's export all of these. And cables I did. If it doesn't crash, that is. Shit, oh no. Cool, okay, so I know we're looking at blank scene, but hopefully not for much longer. Okay, so let's go back into these guys. All of them. Now I have a feeling I need to export some of the walkways, not the walkways, the stairwells. Export. So those two, and what was that, walkways as well. Stairwell, walkways, ladder. So I'm doing this off screen at the moment because there's just not enough real estate space on here. So I need to bring in all of these. Portal. Brilliant. Oh, hello, cardboard box. Oh, how lovely. It looks a bit shit. God, it's shiny though. Tone that down. What I didn't do was didn't average the normals on these boxes. So we'll do that. Yeah, the rest is all right, I think. Hi Action, how you doing? Still shiny though. I might just fix that while I'm here. So I've done a glass shader and a decal shader as well. Sorry, materials I should say. So hopefully we can get some of those going today, at least placed about so we can see what the crack is. This substance file's 2 gigabytes, 2 gigabytes, ridiculous. Cardboard. Use this to roughness, so it's in this one. Okay. See what that does, but also actually I need some more detail in it. think I just heard my housemate just call shit out loud from downstairs. He's watching the Game of Thrones episode that's been in all the news. Okay, height is better, roughness is better, normal is not. Levels to the normal. Might be a bit overkill that. Yeah, way too much. You know what, let's just leave the normal. Cool, right, let's export that. Brill, and then back into Unreal. And where are you, cardboard? Okay, toned it down. Still ridiculously shiny though. Maybe the UVs are just too small. Let's have a look. Better. It's just that there's not enough detail in it. It's still far too shiny. So it is just a flat thing, okay. It's sort of annoying. So really we need that in the base color. Let's get the same blur. Blur. What's it on? 5. Multiply. So that's tile times 5. It could be that the tile's just too strong. this up. Ooh. I should put it on. What if I use the levels on here? Something like that, maybe. Export. The Sui Henrik, hello, welcome to the stream. Hope you find any information useful. Before next week, I did already see at least 3. Oh my god, Action, if you haven't seen it, just watch it. It's so good. You have to start from the beginning, obviously, but... the rifle is a bit late, so I thought, let's make it gilded. Makes it a lot more fancy. Okay, it took a lot more time for it. Have you got any reference for that? Is that gilded means fancy? I don't really know. And who was it? Where are you? The Sui Henrik, yes. If you've got any questions, let me know. There's people in all kinds of who use different software in the chat. A fountain of knowledge, you could say. Yes. Re-import. Okay, Captain Shiny again. So we need to make them smaller. Okay, maybe make it times 2. That's better. So that's not affecting it, that's fine. Roughness is, yeah, high. It's on the height. Let's give that a go. So I literally will upload a gilded and always work for, yes, great tip from Loadout Top there. or loadout op. Yes, that would make more sense. I would get one working first, you know, the non-fancy one. It's really pissing me off now. Doesn't need to be... Where's cardboard? Oh, okay, there we go. The roughness is still messed up. Don't know why though. These are not, you know, huge assets, you know, massive game changer assets, so we'll just leave it like that for the moment. I will tweak the roughness. It's weird that. Oh well, when you're looking at it from this far away, it probably doesn't matter. Sod it, yeah, that'll be fine. Right, let's just apply this to the rest. There's like a metal used at that time. I would, yeah, I think you've just got to, you can use those PBR charts to determine the values of the roughness and the albedo, but I wouldn't, you know, worry too much about it. Could be that these UVs are just naffed up as well, or that the normal map is too strong. Because ideally it should be that colour, which, you know what, I might just bung in. Rough metal, yeah. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Christ, what's that down there? There we go, it was the normal fucking up. Yeah, that's much better. Cool. Got the general gist, that time used black and yeah, well, whatever works. But I would, yeah, as you know, get all the metal on, get all the base colours, base shaders on it first, see how they work together, and always, like, once you're in that process, start your so get your base shaders on and then do an export and set up a marmoset scene or something if you're going to render it in that, and see how they look, and that way, you know, from the beginning of the texturing process you have an idea of what it's going to look like as the final render. And then when you do each iteration, just re-export and have a quick look at what it's going to look like. I think it just might help over time with getting something, so it's not like a mad rush to render it at the end. 3. What do these look like? Bigger. So if anything. Brill. Box, 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 box. Boxes. And the last one, the most impressive one, I think. Boom. Lovely unfolded cardboard box. Cool. Now we will get in our cables. So yes, I did some cables because why the hell not? Rubber, 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 rubber. Nice. So we've got some other debris for that, but I believe I got the colours nailed down for the rifle. We'll change the wood direction for the front. The colour direction is too big, or maybe it's the normal, which might be too strong. Yes, action. Yes, it was the normal that was far too strong. So I just used a flat normal for it because it's going to be so far off you're not going to notice. But yeah, it was the normal. Okay, let's just update the sheet so I know what the hell I'm doing. So these are now in, all of them. That's in, the cables are in. Then I think I did re-import these, but we'll double check. Yep, so they're now all in. Brill. So bin bags need, and the debris we will do in a minute. And then I really need to do these neon signs. Cool, so we will do the debris momentarily. Feel carbon, it's like almost flat. Yeah, I think in my diffuse it's too ridged at the moment, but I just wanted some detail in it so that it was it looked like something was on it at the very least. Yeah. Cool, okay. What I could do while I'm here is so this extension A, get my glass shader on, which is one of these. Oh no, it's not on this one, it's actually on the glass, that's it. Glass 1. Now I think, yes, it's got a bit of something to it. Save that. And then we've got another one with glass, or perhaps not, maybe it's... sea glass. Glass. Which is on there now. hopefully if we go to lit, you can barely see it. I will just crank that up a bit. Don't do anything. That'll be the transparency amount, that's it. Cool. And then it's this building here, which I need this one. Break glass. Oh, it's got the glass on it already. Or not. No. Crap. Can't remember what that was meant to be. I don't think it was meant to be concrete though. No idea what that used to be. Okay, I want to redo them. Shit. Well, it says it's concrete, so we'll just go with that. Could it be? It is on there, it's just there aren't any rooms, that's it. Cool, okay. That's fine, need to fix that. Which building is that? C. Oh. Add rooms to extension. So instead of having a first, second, third pass, now that I've got most things in, I'm doing this thing. So what I'm doing is I'm doing like once. So we take this in. Sorry, this. I'll explain this a bit better. Wrong one. So this is our scene. So I'm basically looking at it and go, right, well the camera's going to be from here. So where do I actually need to spend the detail? So I need to do like a beveled edge down here. I need to put on the pipe lips, as it were. I need to do some brackets so they attach to the wall. I need to break this material up. I need to put the diamond shapes on the air ducts, that kind of thing. So instead of going through a first, second, third pass on everything, I thought, well, let's go from this angle, because that's what the concept is, and then what do I need to do to refine it? So I do a little description, and then I've broken it into 3 refinements so that I can just look at this and go, what needs work, what doesn't need work, and hopefully it'll make the whole thing a lot faster when it comes to, over the next few weeks of getting the thing finished. Yes, so that is my plan. Who knows if it will work, but I just need to try and not get bogged down in things that you don't really see. So, for example, like these aircon units, you don't really see. Yes, they're all unwrapped and all that kind of jazz, but we're never going to see them, you know, so close. So they could just remain with just like a plastic shader on them or something like that. Yeah. According to the list, you're almost done. According to the list, I'm almost done in terms of assets. In terms of textures, I need to refine everything, because these are all just the base. These are just the, in a way, it's a good thing. These are the base materials that I tweaked in Substance Painter, and that's all they are at the moment. I haven't done any Substance Designer work. I've only tweaked the roughness values and just re-exported things as I need them. which is pretty cool because I've managed to get quite a lot down without doing that much work for the texturing. Having said that, we're now moving into the texturing lighting phase, so I'm going to be doing much more of this kind of thing going forward, taking the base and refining it. Looking good. I would tone down. I know you put another link here. Yeah, so you're right, you need to get the wood grain flowing, but I would also not have a normal map on the wood. Like, no normal map, have it just completely polished. Or have a very, very subtle one, but I think this is too much at the moment. And maybe scale up the material on this. So that's looking really cool though, that bit. Have you got any bevels on your low? Because I would put some bevels on. Everything's very right angles at the moment and they'll see that. But yeah, looking cool. I have forgotten my thought thread. Yeah, I mean, obviously see what the, yeah, I think, look at the reference, but I think it's too much normal map. And if you could use a polished wood, then if you're going for this gilded thing, I mean, I've no idea what the reference looks like, but yeah, just because you can have loads of normal information doesn't mean that you should have it. So it's kind of, I first had bars, then I got told the low don't need them, so I removed them, and now I'm told it's a good thing. Well, if you're, yeah, it depends. Everything just depends, really. If the bevel's too fine, it won't, there's no point having the bevel. But if your corners are looking too much like right angles, then it is worth having a bevel. I suppose you draw the line is how close you're going to see it. And you could have a version of the low which has got bevels, and you can have a version without them. And if they have both the same set of UVs, you can just import each, like say you've done some texturing, import the other one, see what it looks like, rebake the normal maps. Because once everything's in Substance Painter, you can just do what you like. It's so easy now. They are slanted though, where you were looking at. Right, remember the weapons, they are either first. It's for a first. What's the brand name? Takes a large part of the screen space. Yeah, so in loadouts, with where he's going, I think he was going to say put bevels in, because if it's taking up, you know, like, let's try and do it, like this much of the screen, then bevels just looks, I mean, look at how the light bends off it all. It's much better than straight angles. Right, let's go back to Modo and let's do the, so let's just do our normal maps on this. Okay. Do a save. So now I want to get my piles of crap for what you call it, for replication. So debris. And in the debris, we're going to have the cans, which also need smoothing out. Best way to put the cans as well is probably to rotate the top one anyway. Okay, so what we do is you make a group, and in this group we have all our debris. Right now we don't need anything else. And now if we go our layout, and so basically I have a plane, I have, in fact let's get my scale reference up as well, that's a good idea. Yeah, bits of crap. I suppose we're varying the what you call it, the heights, the sizes. Yeah, that's fine. Put some particles on it, which you can see here. And then just plug a replicator into it, and then on the replicator you specify the particle generator and the debris group that we made. And then that gives you this. So there's quite a lot going on right now. Counter-Strike. Right, so 10%, 10%, 60%. So it could be that we just put these down, Don't need a random offset right now. And if we do half as much, so you get the idea that there's a lot of, just crap knocking about. Let's pull these both up to 100 and let's change this to meter. Two. And let's put this down to 8, 9, and it's just about playing about until things look all right. So something like that, for example, gives us a starting block. So let's take that. So what I do is I duplicate my where the piss is it? Duplicate the rep, and then we freeze the rep. Item, replicators, freeze replicator. So this gives us a lot of instance objects. So all we do now is convert all of these. Where the hell has it put them? Ah, there. So grab all of those and convert to mesh. We cut all of them, paste them, and there we go. And we've got, keep the scene organized. our first bit of debris. Now the one thing, so that's a pile, okay, so debris, scatter, okay. So this, I would say, is, we could import this and that's fine, but what I would say is that it's a square shape, and in our scene it's like an alleyway, it's a corridor, so we need to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably move most of this stuff onto this side over here, or maybe elongate it a bit more. I'm also going to move stuff so it's not intersecting with each other, which would help with the realism. So yeah, it's quite a good way of quickly getting you know, a scattering of stuff without manually going in and moving everything around. So maybe something like that. Again. You know, something a bit like that. And then what's also good is that we can now come in and just adjust some of these so they're working a bit better with each other. So let's move that here. Yes, it has scattering to an extent, so it's called a replicator. Let me just get another window open. I'll do it in the window next time so you can see what's going on. I want properties, info, data lists, item lists. So what it is this thing here, this purple square, and these are the properties for it down here. And what you do is you just put in your prototype, so you can choose any mesh in the scene, but you can choose also any group. So in a group you can have lots of different meshes. So for this one, the group was all these items here. And then what you do then is so you specify that's the prototype, and then you specify a point source. Now a point source can either be any kind of mesh again, so as long as there's, well, it'll have to have vertices, but you can specify whether it's a mesh or a particle generator, which is what I've got. So these are, you can see just about, I don't know how clear it is on your monitors, but all these little dots, they're all particles. And then you also, and then on that particle generator you say where do you want it to generate the particle, so again you choose a mesh. I could have just done the replicator straight onto the plane, but it's better if you use a particle source, because then you have control over the particles and over the replicating. And then once you've got that set up, you just have all these dials down here. So how much do you want it to twist by? Do you want it to scale? Do you want it all to be offset? And whether you want to align it to the surface or to use point data and that kind of thing. It's a really, really powerful tool. And even when we were rendering in film, it was, for example, with grass, for example, you could just have a curve of a grass blade with render curves turned on in Modo, and then have that as the prototype, and just put it across the entire terrain, and there you go. You've just got grass plains. So it's a really powerful tool. And I always use it for this kind of thing, where you want a bit of randomness, but you don't want to spend your life placing props. I mean, I suppose there is some, refinement in everything, but it gets us most of the way there. And then coupled with Modo's action sensors, it's actually really easy to manipulate the diorama. Sounds like a fun job. Is there any possibility to have like spreading was? Yeah, I saw Karen was someone had told Karen in the last competition that virus spreading is how plants grow in the wild. I think in this kind of thing, it's going to the rubbish will kind of accumulate around waste points. So if you're looking just on the street or in an airport or at in the park or things like that, people will put things in the bin, and then they'll still put things on the bin or around the bin when the bin is full. So I think it's going to be a case of in the scene there's some waste points. And accumulating the rubbish in those areas and then just scattering it out around from there. There's also these areas under the these walkway areas. Let's just get open. So it's going to accumulate around here or around here, and then kind of scatter out into the main area. And then under these bits, I think there'll be bits where maybe people have put larger pieces of rubbish. One thing to be wary of is not to block up the path entirely, because generally, yes, you will get items of rubbish in the centre, but this is also where the most amount of traffic will be for people passing through the area. So it will be ground down or kicked to the side, something like that. Come to the UK. You know, football matches, or summer in the park, or outside McDonald's or something like that. Should have made these rocks a bit more rock-like, actually. Which I might do now. Rocks. I think that'll be better. Germany. Maybe that's the difference. Yeah, maybe that's the difference. I used to live in the countryside, and it is a bit cleaner in the countryside. But in the UK, the rubbish does mount up quite easily. I think in Germany and the Netherlands, they seem to be a lot more on the waste disposal in terms of recycling than we are. And then basically all I'm doing now, I am relaying it out, readjusting it, but I'm seeing what's repeating and what isn't, what's noticeable and what isn't, just so that we can get a better idea. We can mix it up a bit. So there's 2 of these, or 3 in the same area, so it'd be good to just separate these off. Let's move them to a different patch. Need to make these rocks less obvious that they're all generated from the same one. Cool, so there we go. So you can see this is yeah, so I'm going to get this into Unreal now and see what it looks like, assign some materials and see if this is going in the right direction. Before I do that, let's just get all the normals right working again. And export. Then in Unreal, I want to import that and import. So that's all in, lovely. And then let's just use our dirty materials to tart the stuff up. Right, okay, so metal 1, let's see what that is. Ooh, shiny. Cardboard. So the cardboard will need breaking up. What if instead of the cardboard there, concrete slabs instead? I'll leave them as cardboard for the moment. Oh, my wrist. Definitely been doing it too much this week with the old work. So those are the rocks. Cool. What else? Painted metal. Two and rubber. Might make them something like that. So these are all using base shaders at the moment, as it's just the shaders that we have in the scene already. Save that. Got that in. So I would say maybe this pile's a bit too long at the moment. Yes, it works, but what we need to do first is piles, hide these. See what this looks like. I'd say what's not helping this either is the ground isn't looking too great, it's not merging very well. But so we're getting little bits, but yeah, I think the piles could be smaller and more of them, because then we get a better mix of things and we can move them around and give it a bit more variation too. What does the image look like? So the image, yeah, quite a lot of build up, so we do need those boxes and we need to do some bin bags at some point as well. And mounds of them. Maybe some like waste paper as well. Hi Leon PNG, how you doing? Using just all things of it hits the pores. Yes, I'm sure it would if you were using 4 materials and decals. Could you strip it back to 2 materials and decals? Yeah. If you go in much higher than 2, 3, 4, then is it really necessary, or can you not, you know, have them all more in like combined in one texture, for example? Get these boxes in. Oh, good lord, they're tiny. How are they so small? Oh, they need to be much bigger. I saw it that straight away. Give me 250. There we go. That's better. I mean, maybe they're too big now. That's huge. Oh, thanks, Action. Yeah, I think the signs do help, and now that we're doing some debris, in fact I might just carry on with the debris for a bit. In fact, what's it? Helio's pavement is quite shallow, so maybe I'll just drop that for the moment as well. Pavement. That's 18. Also got rid of the debris piles, but it might be worth keeping these in. And just yes, I think smaller piles . Yeah, that looks much better already. Thanks, Loadout. Yeah, see you soon. Thanks for stopping by. When you're next here, if you're still in the chat, post some work up. Let's see what you're up to. Painting and staining. Haven't I got an asphalt? I thought I did. Ah, it's on the old one. Just put that on one layer. Ah, this is the floor. Don't want that. We want the ground. There we go. Better sense of what we're doing now. And actually, while we're here, let's change this to a two-layer material. So that's all fine, I think. Yeah, and then this one can be the debris texture. Is that not a height too? Annoying. Something isn't working. Ah, there we go. Cool. Okay, so can we do a fill? Just a massive brush, I think. And then let's bring in higher res ground. I suppose having fun. I suppose I am doing stuff that I haven't done for a while. But I think I'm going to have to spend a lot of time in my own time just working up the getting the debris looking really good. Okay, let's go something like that. Okay. No, come on. The height maps aren't really working at the moment. I would say, yeah, it's working a lot better. Yeah, much better. Again, maybe not the normal back. I don't know what the reference is like. But maybe knock the normal even further back. But yeah, looking cool. Just gonna have a look at my master material for 2-layer shader. So the height of one. So there is a height, min and max. Okay, we'll have a look at that. So we want to Okay. That's better. And then if we whack up the probably do with this kind of thing on the walls, or at least on the pavement.